Okay, so here we go. So happy Tuesday, my friends. As always, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's wonderful to see you and to practice together. So to begin our practice, I invite you to find a comfortable seat, whatever that happens to look like in your body today, and remembering that that can look like many different things. So in my body, it's comfortable to have my legs folded. If it's not in yours, find a position that works for you. You can sit on something, you can have your legs out. Again, whatever works, whatever feels best in your body. So once you have found your comfortable seat, let's take a moment to find this place, this time. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And just begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breaths. Really breathe from the center of your being. Now, as you breathe, as you move, begin to find some little movements to go along with that breath. On your inhale, roll your spine out nice and long, sit tall on your mat, and then exhale to soften, releasing, melting. Inhaling, rolling out your spine nice and long, and exhale to soften. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to turn to the right and let one hand fall in front and one hand fall behind you. Inhale back to center, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, turn to the left, and again our hands touch down. Inhale to center and over to the right. And we'll just continue to follow this pattern, this gentle opening twist on your breath. Now, as you breathe, as you move, begin to notice where it would feel good to make changes. So if you notice that it would feel nice to linger in one particular part of this movement, or to add on or change in any way, feel free to do so, to begin to just shift and change and address any areas of your body that are experiencing soreness or tightness or fatigue. We just want to find ways to feel good in this moment, in this space of movement meditation. And then nice and gently find your way back to seated. Draw your hands to heart center. And we're going to take a moment right here to set an intention for our practice today. So we just passed Memorial Day weekend. It is the official start of summer. So if you'd like to welcome in some bright solar energy, that would be beautiful today. But of course, your intention should most serve you. So choose the intention, the idea or word or concept that you wish to strengthen right here on your mat in our time together. And then once your intention is set, simply release your hands down, walk them forward, and sweep your feet around behind you. Let's find our way to tabletop. So in our tabletop, let's keep moving our spines. On your inhale, roll your heart forward and tip your tailbone to the sky. And then exhale, coil, drop the crown of your head. Inhale to roll open. And exhale to coil. Now, as you breathe, as you flow in cat-cow, if you notice that it would feel good to introduce some other movements, you're welcome to do so. So you can stay in cat-cow, or you can find free-form expressive movement. So shifting from side to side, forward and back, just finding some ease. And once again, just like in movement meditation, finding ways to address little spaces of soreness or tightness. And then find your way back into tabletop. Come to stillness. Draw your knees together beneath your hips. On your inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and lower the tip of your toe to the mat. So as always, let's find a calf stretch right here. Press into your right heel. Stretch out the back of your leg. As always, you've got choices, so you can sustain that stretch or find a slow roll into and out of that stretch. And then let's switch it out. Lower your right knee back down to the mat. Let's feel that on the left. Inhale, extend your left leg long. Lower your toe to the mat. Begin to press into your left heel. And once again, simply begin finding good ways to feel this stretch. So you can sustain, you can slowly roll into and out of it. Remember, you can adjust how much of a stretch you're feeling. And then lower your left knee back down to the mat. So from here, we are going to meet in forward fold. And there are a couple ways to get there. You can walk your hands back to stand. You can also step your feet forward, whatever works best in your body. Now, once you find your forward fold, try to just surrender into that space. Remember, you can always support your upper body with a block if that would feel good. Try to relax the crown of your head and your neck. Really let your head be heavy. And if it would feel good to find a little motion here, you're welcome to rock from side to side. And then come to stillness at the center. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down and let's take a moment to set up our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So in mountain pose, we want to have our feet directly beneath our hip bones. So feet are parallel, facing forward. So look down, make sure you're not turned out or turned in. Nice, even feet. Root them down into the mat and then bring your hands to your belly. Give your belly some love, especially if there were maybe some really questionable food decisions over the last 3 days. Just soothing that part of our bodies. And then find that space just beneath your navel and draw your lower abdominals in. So we're going to feel our tailbone lengthen here. Shoulders roll back and down. Palms face forward. Stand nice and tall. Feel how rooted and strong you are here. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Extend into Tadasana. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your fingers, and on your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge, and then lower that right knee all the way down to the mat. So as always, we're going to do a little alignment check here, just making sure that left knee is directly over the left ankle. If you're using blocks or a prop that is similar to blocks, feel free to set them so that you can easily lengthen to look forward. Sometimes having a little more space for our arms here is really useful. Once you've found your lunge, inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. Let your hips draw you back first, so that left leg starts to lengthen. And then inhale, shift forward. Melt your right hip toward the mat. Exhale, shifting back, left leg straightening. Inhaling forward to lunge. So our flowing lunge that we open all of our namaskars with. Let your next inhale bring you back to lunge. Set your blocks to the side if you're using them and find your tabletop once more. And let's keep moving our spines. On your inhale, roll your heart open, tip your tailbone to the sky. Exhale, coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. Inhale to roll open. And exhale to coil. So again, yogi's choice here, cat-cow or free-form spinal movement. If it would feel good to just find some fluid, expressive movement, you feel free to do so. And then find your way back to stillness, coming to a nice neutral spine. Walk your hands, one handspan forward, and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So from here, we want to have our bodies in half plank, which means knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. And let's do it wrong first. So slip through your slump through your midsection. And feel that that's really uncomfortable on your lower back. And then dial your core in. Feel strong, press into the earth. Feel how buoyant your shoulders are. Keep all of that as you bend your elbows and begin to float your way down to the mat. And if it gets to be too much, just come down to the earth. Once you've touched down, walk your toes back, create space. Bring your fingertips wide. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other. Free your spine. We're just finding big, beautiful shoulder circles here. Lots of movement. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press it back. Find your tabletop. Now, if you have a downward dog in your practice and you'd like to feel it today, you're also welcome to take downward facing dog here. Wherever you've landed, I'd like you to find movement. So maybe that's cat-cow or free-form spinal movement in tabletop. If you are in downward facing dog, please walk out your dog. Bend one knee and then the other. You can shift your hips, sway, move your shoulders. Just finding ease, finding familiarity wherever you have found yourself. And then make your way into stillness. Come to a nice neutral spine. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. If you were using blocks, go ahead and grab them to set yourself up. And we're just going to do that alignment check on the side, right? So we're going to make sure that that right knee is directly over the right ankle. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, scoop in, shift back, right leg lengthens. Inhale, shift forward to lunge, melt that left hip. And we're just going to feel this particular vinyasa, this combination of movements, lengthening the right leg and then shifting forward to melt the left hip. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together to fold. Move into a nice surrendered forward fold. So try to let your head be heavy, let your neck be long. Again, if movement feels good for you, if that's nice in your body here, you're welcome to rock from side to side. I like to dangle and rock around a little bit in forward fold. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open, welcoming in that midsummer, that summer light. Exhale, hands to heart center. Checking with your Tadasana. If you need to set it up again, no big deal. Just re-root your feet, feeling engaged, rooting down, rising up, strong core, open heart. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Bend your knees and plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge, and then lower your left knee all the way down to the mat. So we'll just do a quick check, making sure that right knee is directly over the right ankle, and then we'll take this vinyasa a little bit deeper. Inhale to look forward. This time on your exhale, as you shift back, let your right toes rise. That'll put more of a stretch along the back of your right leg. Inhale, shift forward, melt your left hip. And just a note, because I forgot to mention it, when you shift back and forth, you can feel free to move your hands. So you can walk them forward and back with you, if that helps you get a better stretch. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Tabletop. From your tabletop, walk your hands, one hand span forward, and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So again, let's find half plank. Knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. Feel strong through your core, so we're not slumping through the midsection here. And once again, we're going to do a little chaturanga work here. So you can keep your knees down, or if you would like a more challenging practice, you're welcome to turn your toes under. Wherever you have landed, on this exhale, bend your elbows and lower your way down to the mat. Once you've touched down, walk your toes back, create space, and bring your fingertips wide. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other. Once again, finding some ease, some opening through creative cobra. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press back to tabletop or to downward facing dog if you have one of those in your practice. Find your way to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Grab your blocks if you were using them for flowing lunge. So we're just going to do a quick check again. Let's make sure that left knee is directly over that left ankle. Then we'll lift our hearts and melt that right hip toward the mat. Exhale to shift back. This time, as you shift back, those left toes reach toward the sky, getting a deeper stretch along the back of your leg. Inhale forward. And exhale, shifting back, left toes reaching up. And we just follow our breath. Again, remembering that you can always walk your hands forward and back if you would like to. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. Surrender into your fold. Again, try to let the back of your neck be nice and long. Let your head be heavy. Find movement if that would feel good. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here to reset if you need to, just checking in to make sure your mountain pose is still nice and rooted and strong. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, plant your fingertips, and inhale to step your right foot back to lunge. Lower that right knee down. Now listen for the change this time. We're going to start working in some little twists here. So plant your right hand at the center of the mat, and it might be onto the mat itself. You might also place a block right here. Let me move this one so you can see where you can root that right hand. So once that right hand is rooted, on your inhale, peel your left arm open. So we're going to turn our hearts toward the sky. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Maybe we curl it under that left thigh. Inhaling, peeling open. And exhale to lower. And on this exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Tabletop. So once again, walk your hands, one hand span forward, and shift your shoulders over your wrists, finding half plank, or if you would like a more challenging practice, full plank is an option here as well. Again, wherever you've landed with control, bend your elbows and float your way down. Try to come down nice and slowly. If you can use more than one breath here, that's wonderful. Helps cultivate strength. Once you've reached your mat, walk your toes back, create space, and then draw your fingertips to directly beneath your shoulders. So when we open into Cobra, we want to protect the backs of our necks. So what we're going to do is gaze at the mat. Now, roll your shoulders all the way forward, up and back, and maybe we press into the hands a little bit. Exhale to soften. And let's feel that 2 more times. Rolling open, low cobra, keeping the back of the neck long. 1 more time. And exhale. Press it back, tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. So again, we're changing things up this round. Plant your left hand at the center of the mat, and that can be to the mat or it can be to the block at the center of the mat. On your inhale, peel your right arm open, reaching to the sky. Exhale, lower that right hand down. Inhaling, peeling your body open. And exhale. So we're just beginning to cultivate some of that gorgeous twisting energy. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat, space evenly. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee, look forward, and step together. And soften. Again, releasing here, coming into surrender, finding movement, if that would feel good. And then stabilize. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time through our namaskar, our opening salutation, reset your tadasana if you need to. And then on your inhale, find the rise. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and lower that left knee down. So once again, we're going to plant that left hand at the center of the mat, either to the mat or on a block. This time on your inhale, peel your right arm open, but we're going to stay with that right arm extended. So we'll sweep that right hand around in a circle, all the way, finding big, beautiful circles in that shoulder. And as we come up and over the top, we just turn our hearts toward the sky, still introducing a little bit of that twisting energy to our practice. So these are sometimes called shoulder mandalas, or less romantically helicopter arm. Whichever visualization works for you, that can be the one you choose. And on your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. tabletop. From here, let's keep our hips high. So we're going to leave them up and over the knees, and this time we'll walk our hands forward and begin melting our heart toward the mat. Now, if you notice that this is a lot of pressure in your shoulder joints, you're welcome to bend your elbows and bring your forearms to the mat. That'll still get you that stretch without all of the pressure. If you have very open shoulders and need a little more space, you can always tent your fingertips to melt your heart just a little bit more. So we'll just stretch for one more breath right here, melting our hearts and our bellies toward the mat, stretching out our shoulders. And then roll your way all the way out and down onto your belly. Walk your toes back to create space. This time, let's find our Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx, we want our elbows to come directly beneath our shoulders. Think of this as having Lego dude arms. So we're looking at right angles here. Once you have found your elbows directly beneath your shoulders, press into your forearms, spread your fingers and press into your palms. And notice how buoyant your shoulders become. So let's do it wrong, let's slump. And then press into the forearms, feel buoyant, slump, feel buoyant. So we keep pressing into our forearms and hands as we turn our toes under. Draw your awareness to where your belly is resting on the mat. On your exhale, begin to roll your way up. Draw your navel in, lifting your hips, your quads, your knees, forearm plank. One full breath right here. And then with control, we find our way back down. Knees, quads, hips. Make a pillow with your hands, rest your head, and rock your hips from side to side. Lower your toes down to the mat. Return your fingertips to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, your choice. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. So last time through our twisting lunge, plant your right hand at the center of the mat, either to the mat or onto a block. On your inhale, peel your left arm open. This time we'll keep that left arm extended and begin sweeping it around in a big circle. So finding shoulder mandalas on this left side. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Space your fingertips evenly and turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. And fold. Surrender, rock from side to side, let it go. Take a full lunar pause right here. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down. So we're going to do a little bit of work standing at the top of the mat, cultivating more twists. And I'd like to invite you to bring a block or another supportive surface to the top of the mat. So once you've placed that block, roll your way back up to standing. Good. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. So we're going to plant our hands on that block, and we'll start with rooting one hand. Doesn't matter which one, just root one hand. On your inhale, peel that other arm open. So we're going to start feeling that twist, right? Exhale, lower your lifted hand, plant that. Inhale, peel the other arm open. And exhale. So this is the pattern, rooting and then peeling open. Exhaling to root. Inhale to peel open on the other side, and we'll just feel that a couple more times. On your next exhale, lower both hands down. Now from here, we're going to walk that block over to the left side. If your hands were on the mat, also you can just come down to your fingertips here. So once you've rooted your fingertips or that block, we're going to press our right hip away. And you'll feel a nice deep stretch, probably along the outside of that right leg. And I tend to feel this a lot in my lower back, which can be really, really good. As always with deep stretches, we want to be careful. Overstretching is a thing. So if you find that this is too much, you can decrease the angle by bringing that block in a little bit closer. We're going to come over to the right. So same thing. We're going to come over to the side, place that block, and we'll press those left hips away, turning our heart so that we're over that block. And again, just breathing into this stretch. If you feel like it's too much, just narrow the angle. So we'll bring that block a little closer to center, still pressing that left hip away. And come back to center. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. We're going to set up for our warrior sequence here, so I'm going to adjust my camera real quick. So on your mat, we're going to start with the right foot forward. So step your right foot forward, and then we'll step that left foot back. So we have a nice wide stance. Now, for warrior one, which has our hips facing the front of the room or the front of the mat, we want to feel comfortable aligned forward. So just check in with that back leg and foot. You might need to adjust the angle of that back foot. So for some people, having that left foot turned out to the side will feel good. For others, they'll need that foot facing a little more forward. And what we really want to avoid is any feeling of deep tension in that left calf. So once you've found your good foot position, bend your right knee. So we're moving right now into our warrior one. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. And let's just start by opening into this space. Exhale, sweep your fingertips behind you. Inhaling, rising. And exhale. So now we'll add a twist. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep your hands over to your right side and reach them behind you. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to sweep over to the left. And inhale back to center. Let's feel that a couple more sides, or a couple more times rather, on each side. So over to the right, to center, to the left. One more time, both sides. Now this time, when you come over to your right, we're going to sustain. So we'll sweep our fingers off to the right, and then that left hand can plant on the right hip. Right arm reaches long. Now, depending on your practice, maybe you stay right here, twisting, reaching, turning your heart toward the back of the room. If it's open to you in your practice, you can pivot onto your tippy toes on that back foot and come down to revolved lunge, where that left elbow finds the right knee and our palms meet at our heart to begin turning our heart toward the sky. Now that is a big jump between those two, so if you try this and it's awful, just come back to your elevated twist. And release. So wherever you are, we're going to release those hands down. Let's step that left foot in a bit. So now our feet are rooted down. Let them be parallel. Both feet are facing forward, so they're staggered but facing the same direction. I sometimes think of pyramid poses like the walk like an Egyptian pose. So if you can think of yourself as a really awesome Egyptian deity, that totally works here. Inhale to sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep your palms down by your sides, press into your hands, create length. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Now this time we're going to hinge at the waist and fold forward. Bow over your right leg. From here, let's draw that right hip back and that left hip forward. Just stretching it out. Every inhale, feel a little more length along your spine. Every exhale, soften into the space you've created just a bit more. Now, from here, we're going to add a little twist. So what I'd like you to do is root your left hand. So that left hand can come to your thigh or to your shin. You can also plant it on a block that's right by your right foot. Once that hand is planted, we're going to peel that right arm open, moving toward revolved triangle. Lower your right hand down, and then inhale, peel it open. Exhaling to lower it down. And this is tough, right? Revolved triangle is challenging even for my body. It takes a lot of openness in various parts of your anatomy. So don't worry if it doesn't feel so great or look so good. What's important is we're getting a twist and a stretch at the same time. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat, plant your fingertips, and step your left foot all the way back to lunge. Lower down to your left knee. So we're coming back down to low lunge. That right foot is forward, left knee is back and down. From here, let's walk our hands back, right toes rise. So we'll stay right here. Inhale, create plenty of length. Exhale to bow over your right leg. Again, inhaling, lengthening. And exhale. So we've been twisting all practice, and there is a twisting variation for half monkey pose, which is where we are right now. If you'd like to try it, you can heel toe your right foot toward the left side of the mat, and then we walk our hands over that right leg so that our heart is reaching away. Then the movement is the same. We inhale, we create length, exhaling to melt. And this movement might be a little more subtle, and where you feel it will be different, right? So I feel this a lot on the outside of my right leg. And let's come back to center, heel toe that right foot back to the center of the mat, and then simply take a seat. Draw the soles of your feet together. We're going to meet in butterfly pose. Now, we haven't really cultivated a lot of hip opening today, so remember to go with a gentle expression of Baddha Konasana, of butterfly. So once you've found your comfortable rooted position, create plenty of length along your spine, sit tall. Wherever your hands land is fine. Keeping your spine long on your exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Every inhale, feel a little more length. Every exhale, find a little more space. And then once you've found your maximum point of stretch, like this is it in my body today, then surrender. Bow your head, close your eyes, and come back to your breath, back to your intention for your practice this morning. As you are ready, gently roll your way all the way up to seated. So we're going to make our way back up to standing. You can get there however you would like to, so we can feel that same sequence on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to adjust my camera real quick. So we're going to start with a standing position. Step your left foot forward and your right foot back. So again, we're looking at warrior one position here. So our hips and our hearts are facing the short side of the mat with that left knee bent. Now to keep this comfortable, we just want to check in with that right foot, right? So maybe that right foot is dialed all the way out to the side. Maybe it has a more narrow angle. Find the one that feels comfortable in your body. This is a little different on everyone because our hips are all shaped differently. Sink deeply into that left knee. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. And let's just start by finding warrior one. Sweep them behind. Inhaling, rising, opening, feeling that victorious warrior energy. Exhale, sweep them behind. And now we'll add the twist. On your next exhale, sweep your hands over to that left side, reaching away. Inhale to center and over to the right. Inhale to center and over to the left. Now this time, as you come over to your left side, we'll sustain, right? So same options. That right hand can come to the left hip, left arm reaches away. So this is option one, sustaining this twist. Option two, if it's open to you, you can pivot on your back foot and bring your right elbow to your left knee, palm to palm, pressing into your hands to turn your heart toward the sky. And again, choose the path that fits today, right? Our practices change from day to day. And release, rolling your way back up. Step that right foot in a little bit. So we're going to set up for pyramid pose on that left side. So we want both feet firmly planted, about a space between them. And again, our feet are parallel. So although they're staggered, they're facing the same direction. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep your hands down by your sides. Press, lengthen. Inhale, keep all of that length as you exhale to fold forward. Surrender over that left leg. Draw your right hip back, your right hip forward and your left hip back. We're just going to breathe. Every inhale lengthens that spine. Every exhale you soften. So from here, we're going to add a little twist. You're going to plant your right hand, so it can be on a block, onto your left shin or onto your left thigh. Once you've rooted your right hand, on your inhale, peel your left arm open, revolve triangle. Exhale, lower that left arm down. Inhaling, peeling open. Exhaling, lowering down. On this next exhale, both hands come down, bend your knees, plant your fingertips and step your right foot all the way back to lunge, lower down to your right knee. Walk your hands back. We'll stay shifted back as our left toes rise. So let's feel half monkey pose here. Inhale, create plenty of length. Exhale, bow over that left leg. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhale. Stay right here or add the twisting variation of half monkey. You can heel toe your left foot toward the right side of the mat. If you have done so, then you walk your right hand over that left leg. And we reach our heart away from our hips. Exhale to bow, to soften. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhale to melt. Walk your hands forward, heel toe that left foot back out to the side, and then simply shift back and take a seat. I'm going to adjust my camera real quick. So from your seated position, let's do a little bit more twisty work. Draw your left heel in and extend your right leg nice and long. So we'll start with a single-legged forward fold. Turn your heart toward your right foot. Inhale, create plenty of length. Exhale to fold forward. Now, wherever your hands land is fine. So they might be to your shin or your thigh. For a couple people, you might find your toes. Wherever your hands land is perfect. Once you've found your way there, inhale, lengthen. And exhale to soften. So let's add a little twisting energy right here. Take your right hand rather, and bring it to the inside of your right leg. I'm just going to let that right hand rest. With your left fingertips, root them somewhere. So maybe that shin or that thigh, maybe the toes for a couple people. And then we're going to turn like we're gazing underneath that left arm, like you're peeking. And you'll start to feel this in your lower back. So root that left hip down, really letting that stretch, feel good. Come back to center and let's switch it out. So we're going to bring that right hand back out. Left hand this time is going to just find our shin or our thigh. Let's root that right hand and begin to turn to gaze underneath that right arm. And again, that right fingertip can be to your shin or your thigh. And we'll draw our left shoulder under here. And come back to center. Bend your right knee and plant your right foot out in front of you. So for your seated twist, you have choices. So you can sit with your right foot in front of you. You can also take that right foot and cross it over your left knee. If you've chosen that path, I just want to make sure your sits bones are down on both sides and your feet are touching, so nothing's floating. If something is, just bring your foot back to center. Sweep your right hand down to the mat at the base of your spine. Press into that hand. Roll your right shoulder back and down and press to lengthen your spine. Inhale, reach your left arm to the sky. Now I want you to reach up and over and then down. So we'll draw that elbow to that knee, or maybe we bring that hand to the knee instead. Whatever contact point you've chosen, you then use it to turn your heart toward the back of the room. Inhale to create length. Every exhale, we soften just a little bit more. And release. Sweep your hands back to center and reach them over to that left side. Curve your spine, bow your head. And we'll feel that on the other side. So come back to center and switch out your feet. So that left leg is going to extend long. Right heel nestles in toward our leg. Turn your heart toward your left foot. Inhale, create plenty of length. Exhale, fold forward. And we'll just stretch it out first. Wherever your hands land is fine. Every inhale, create length. Every exhale, soften just a little bit. So let's begin adding on that twist. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left leg. So it's just going to rest with the fingertips facing up. And then we'll root that right hand. So from here, we'll begin to turn to gaze underneath that right arm. Again, fingertips can be to your shin or your thigh, maybe the toes for a couple people. And we just peek underneath that right arm. And then let's switch it out. Come back to center. We're going to take that left hand and we're going to plant it somewhere. So maybe that's the shin or the toes or the thigh. And we'll begin to turn to gaze underneath that left arm. So we're going to use that right hand to help draw our shoulder under. And come back to center. Roll your way all the way up to seated. Bend your left knee and bring your left foot out in front of you. So again, you have options. Your left foot can stay right here for seated twist, or it can move to the outside. Again, if you choose this option, you just want to make sure that your hips are touching down and your feet are as well. Sweep your left hand down to the mat at the base of your spine. Roll your shoulder back and down. Press into your palm. Inhale to reach your right arm to the sky. Exhale, turn to the left, elbow to knee or palm to knee. And begin to use that contact point to turn your heart toward the back of the room. And just remember your yoga breathing here, right? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Come back to center. Sweep your hands over to the right. Plant your fingertips and curve your spine. And come back to center. From here, roll your way all the way down onto the mat. Draw your knees in and rock from side to side. Just give yourself a little back massage right here on the yoga mat. Come to stillness at the center. Open your arms out to either side. Make a nice big T on the mat. Drop your knees off to your right hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Now here in supine twist, try to let your lower body relax. So let your feet touch the earth. Relax your legs, just soften. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, drop your knees off to the left and turn your head to look to the right. And just say notes. Try to let your body relax. Inhale to come back to center. And now if there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything you would like to feel before we close our practice for the day, take a moment to honor that request, whatever it happens to be. So it might be another twist or a fold or a little inversion practice, it might be a little hip stretch, whatever would feel really good. That's what goes right here. And then come back to center and begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. So remember that in Shavasana you have options. You can lie with your legs extended, heels nice and wide, palms facing the sky. If that's not comfortable, bend your knees and let your feet be wide. Then drop your knees toward each other at the center so that your bones can support you as you rest here. You are, of course, also welcome to take Shavasana on your side or to take seated meditation. What's most important is to choose a space where you can come to stillness. So once you have found that position, take a moment to feel all of the points of connection between your body and your mat just beginning to soften. Let them melt. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. If you find that you get drawn into a thought cycle, simply notice it and then return to the feeling of your breath moving in your body. And simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. And begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. And then draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just soften into the posture of the sleeping child. Cradle your head on your right arm here if that would feel good. And come back one more time to your intention for your practice today. And just breathe in that intention, whatever it happened to be. Whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We'll close our practice today with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you. Let me come up and pause the recording. Stop, and I'm gonna